Hello everyone, my name is Sun Yang. Today I would like to share with you my educational leadership course learning. We will reflect on what we have learned and explore how to apply this knowledge in the future. The course is designed to provide a comprehensive understanding of leadership. It covers many leadership areas, including transformation leadership, sovereignty leadership, situational leadership, and distributed leadership. Through case studies, we analyze real-world scenarios and witness how different leadership styles work in different contexts. We also divided into the integration of technology in leadership, explore how digital toys can enhance communication and collaboration. Additionally, the course emphasizes the critical role of values and ethics in guiding leaders in decision making. One of the most impactful takeaway from the course is the understanding that leadership is not static but a dynamic and adaptable concept. It is flexible and must be tailored to different situations. For instance, in a crisis, a more directive leadership style might be necessary to quietly make decisions and guide the team to safety. On the other hand, in creative projects where innovation is crucial, a flexible leadership style can encourage team members to express their ideas freely. This realization has transformed my perspective on leadership. I used to think leadership was simple about holding a position of authority, but now I see it as a process of continuous learning and adaptation. This new understanding has significantly changed my view of what it means to be an educational leader. In the past, I may have envisioned an educational leader as someone who simply enforces rules and makes top-down decisions. However, after this course, I aspire to be an educator who combines emphasis with the ability to drive change. In an educational setting, students, teachers, and parents all have diverse needs and backgrounds. A one-size-fits-all leadership approach what it was. Instead, I am to be sensitive to this difference, use sovereignty leadership principle to support and empower others. When it comes to implementing educational reforms, I will draw on transformational leadership to inspire the school community to embrace change and strive for excellence. Inclusion. This leadership course has been a game changer for me. It has not only broadened my knowledge of leadership areas and perspective, but also visualized my vision of educational leadership. I am not more determined than ever to continue learning and growing. with the goal of become a more efficient and adaptable educational leaders. Thank you for your listening. My part is over. Thanks.
Hi everyone, I'm Taiwan Ting. I'm really excited to share my reflections on leadership theories and how they come alive when we look at real people, real schools, and real decisions. Before this course, I thought leadership was most about making decisions, giving others, and maybe have a little like a principal, a CEO, or a manager. But now, I see leadership as very differently. I have learned that leadership is not about power. It's about influence and about helping others grow. We explored so many theories this semester: transformational, transactional, servant, situational, distributed, and honest. At first, I felt a bit overwhelmed. But once we started connecting those theories to real-world leaders, something linked for me. Okay, let me start with transformational leadership. This theory is all about creating a clear vision, inspiring others, and leading change. The best example we studied Li Guangyao. He didn't just lead Singapore, he reminded it. He invested deeply in education as a tool for national development. He communicated a long-term vision and got people to believe in it. That's transformational leadership at its best. But we also talk about transactional leadership, more practical, more reward-based. It's you do this, you get that kind of leadership. I used to think it was boring. But now I realize schools actually need this too. Timetables, roles, evaluations, those require structure. A good principal might use transformational leadership to motivate teachers, but they still need transactional tools to run the school effectively. Then, there's servant leadership, a theory that really stayed with me. The servant leader doesn't focus on control or status. They listen, they support, they serve. We learned about Dr. Tarinai Trent, who uplifted girls in rural Africa through education. She wasn't in a high position of power, but she made a real difference by putting people first. Situational leadership taught me that no one style works all the time. What works in one context may fail in another. In crisis, maybe you need to be director. Working with experienced teachers, maybe take a coaching approach. They remind me of Steve Jobs. We know he was visionary, but also known for being intense, even harsh. He wasn't perfect, but he adapted to innovational culture at Apple. It's not just about principle. It's about building leadership capacity across the school. Department heads, teacher leaders, student voice, all of this matter. In my teaching internship, I saw this in action. Teachers lead collaborative planning. Senior staff mentor juniors. The principal encouraged input from everyone, even trained teachers like me. That was distributed leadership, and it worked. First, I don't want to lead from the top. I want to lead from within the team. Second, I want to lead with empathy. Third, I want to be flexible, not locked into one style, but ready to adjust. The course didn't just teach me theories, it helped me reflect on who I want to be and how I want to treat others. On the kind of culture I hope to build, whether it's in a classroom, a school, or an entire system. To end, I want to quote something from Simon Sinek, whose video we watched. Leadership is not about being in charge. It's about taking care of those in your charge. That quote honestly changed my view completely. So thank you, doctor, thank you this course, and thank you to my classmates. Thank you for your listening. I'm looking forward to becoming not a perfect leader, but a purposeful one.
Hi everyone, I'm really happy to share my reflection on how this course helped me bridge the gap between theory and practice, especially through the way we engaged with content. One of the most eye-opening parts of this course was that learning was not just about reading articles or listening to lectures. We were constantly encouraged to experience leadership, not just to learn about it. For example, through case studies, role plays, and simulations, I started to understand what it actually feels like to make tough decisions, to consider multiple stakeholders, and to reflect on the long-term impact of those choices. The crisis management simulation in particular was something that really stood out for me. I had to respond quickly, consider others' feelings, and think strategically, just like a real school leader would in an emergency. That exercise helped me see that leadership is not only about authority, it's about responsibility, empathy, and timing. This hands-on learning approach also reminded me of North's adult learning theory, which I found highly relevant. He believes that adult learners thrive when they feel respected, when learning is meaningful, and when they can draw from their own experience. And I feel exactly that in this course. We were not treated like blank slates. We were encouraged to contribute, to challenge ideas, and to share what we already know. That makes the learning much more personally and effective. And in addition, I appreciated how the course helped me connect theory to real people. For example, when we studied servant leadership, we did not just read about it, we saw it embodied in the story of Malala. Her courage and humanity showed me that leadership is not always loud or dominant. Sometimes it's about quiet strength and constant service. That made me ask myself, what kind of leader do I want to be? I also begin to realize how powerful reflective practice is. After every discussion or assignment, I called myself think things like, would I have handled that situation differently, or which leadership approach fittest that context the best? These small internal questions help me build a habit of thinking more like a leader, one who does not just act but also reflects and learns constantly. Another important takeaway for me was how much the learning environment itself matters. The way this course was structured with group discussion, open sharing, and trust building actually molded the kind of collaborative culture that good leaders should create in schools. It reminded me that effective leadership is not only about the leader, it's also about how they create space for others to grow. Looking ahead, I believe these lessons will stay with me no matter what role I take in the future. Whether I become a teacher, a program coordinator, or even an educational policymaker, somebody, I hope I will always carry the mindset this course taught me that leadership is not fixed, it's adaptable, inclusive, and constantly evolving. Handling. I've realized that being a leader doesn't not mean you have all the answers. It means being open to questions, aware of context, and willing to learn from others. And that's exactly the kind of educator I aspire to be. Okay, this is my part. Really, thank you. Goodbye.
Hello, teacher and everyone. My name is Li Ganying. In the next 5 minutes, I'm talk about school culture problems in primary schools and how teachers can work together to make schools better. First, school culture is really important. Rules and laws keep the school in order. But culture is the heart of a school. Values tell us what's important. Morality and ethics help us know right from wrong. For example, when schools share and help each other, it's because of good values and morals. During my primary school internship, I saw two big problems. Many schools focus too much on tests and homework. Students only study math, Chinese, and English all day. They have no time for art, music, or sports. This makes students tired and less interested in learning. Also, schools don't pay enough attention to school students' feelings. There are few classes about mental health. Teachers only check students' grades, not if they are happy or stressed. I once met a student who cried because of too much pressure, but no one noticed. So what can we do? The answer lies in teacher development communities. These communities are like supportive groups where teachers come together to help one another. One effective method is mental apprentice pairing. In this setup, experienced teachers guide new ones, with sharing tips on how to make lessons more engaging and how to handle classroom challenges. This way, new teachers can learn from those who have more teaching experience. Another important part of these communities is group meetings. Teachers gather regularly to exchange ideas. They talk about new teaching methods, sharing interesting activities they were tired, and apply lessons together. By working as a team, teachers can create better lessons for their students. Good leaders in these groups are key. They make sure everyone works together, find resources, and encourage teachers. With these communities, teachers get better at teaching, and students learn more happily. In short, school culture needs to be strong. We must solve problems like overstudying and ignoring feelings. Teacher communities can make schools better places to learn. I hope more schools will try this way. Thank you for listening. I'm very happy to give this speech. Welcome the next member of our group. Bye bye.
Hello, Professor. My name is Dim Yang. Now this is my part. I would like to share some reflection on how artificial intelligence is shaping the future of education, both in classroom and in school leadership. Okay, let us begin by looking at how AI is currently being used in educational context. In the classroom, AI supports personalized learning through a data platform, provides real-time feedback, and helps track students' progress. In administration, AI improves efficiency in tasks like scheduling, attendance, and performance skills. However, even with these benefits, AI must not replace human judgment. Educational leadership requires emotional intelligence, essential thinking, and an understanding of context, qualities that AI cannot replicate. So, while AI can assist, it should not dominate, the human element remains essential. Next, to illustrate this balance, let's consider a real-world case, Alpha School. At Alpha School, AI is used to personalize learning for each student, adjusting context based on their place and performance. But what truly sets the school apart is philosophy. AI assists learning, not replaces it. Students are taught to use tools like ChatGPT to brainstorm ideas or improve language, but not to complete assignment for them. AI is used as a learning companion, not a replacement for thinking. This model shows us how AI and educators work together with technology, guided by strong pedagogy. Okay, of course, responsible use is key. As educators, we must help students become not only capable users of AI, but also critical and essential thinkers. This includes teaching data privacy, helping them recognize algorithmic bias, and building digital literacy. Students should learn to ask questions like, what created this AI-generated content? Is the information accurate? Am I thinking for myself or just accepting machine output? In addition, schools must have strong data protection practice. We are not just integrating technology, we are shaping digital citizens. Okay, while technology is advancing rapidly, it cannot replace what makes education truly meaningful: human connection. AI cannot understand a student's emotional needs, such as happy, sad, build relationships, good or bad, or provide the sense of belonging that teachers do. As educators and school leaders, we must preserve empathy, creativity, and interpersonal values at the heart of education. Technology should serve human development, not replace it. Okay, in summary, AI is not our computer, it is our tool. When used thoughtfully, it can enhance teaching and improve school systems, but we must guide its use with care, essential awareness, and a commitment to human-centered education. Let us lead with values. Let us ensure that AI supports learning, but never replace the human spirit behind it. So that's for our podcast. I'm very happy to join this class, and our teacher, Mr. Kenny, is a very good teacher. He got me a lot of things about school leaders and relationship between students and teachers. In conclusion, this course has not only taught us leadership theories, but also inspire us to become a reflective, essential, and forward-looking educators. Thank you for listening.